Welcome to a little bit of a how-to on how to make an oil pastel landscape. So the first step is to do a light pencil drawing on the page of the layout of where everything is in the image that you're looking at. And so you're not drawing everything in the image, but you're just drawing the main things so you know where things are going to fall. Now, the first place that you want to start with oil pastels when you're putting down the color is you want to start with whatever's farthest in the background. Because you're layering things and you're working forward, the background is where the first place to start. So you can see I'm really going to be working the background here and then moving into the other parts of it afterwards. So I've got some medium blues, some lighter blues, and then I'm getting in and adding some darks and lights. Here I'm taking a little bit of oil on a Q-tip. You can use a baby oil, you can use a kitchen oil like a coconut oil or anything you have in your house, and take a tiny bit on a Q-tip, and that will blend up your colors. It's not something you have to do. It depends on the texture that you want to achieve. I like to use it here in the sky because I'm looking for like a softer, really blended texture, so the oil really mixes that up. Then I'm going back in over top and adding a little bit of texture for some more clouds and a little bit of dark spots. Now I'm into the part here where I'm working over top. So you can see that the sky is there and I'm leaving the sky. And then I'm working over top of that with that little bush to the side there. And you can see that, that you can just layer the pastel. And so that's sort of the next sort of mid-range thing in the drawing. Moving towards the grasses here. I'm taking advantage of that hatching technique that we practiced as one of the skill builders for this project, and I'm just doing lines that are all added up together going in one direction. And then I am changing the colors and doing some browns in there, some yellows, some greens, and just sort of alternating those colors in with it. One thing that's important to note is that you never get it done in just one layer of pastel on the page. So if you can see, I'm going over top, and it's about building up the pastel and building up the colors. So the way you're going to have success with this is not about just getting it done in the one layer, but you want to think about multiple layers to have success. Here I'm getting into the barn part. So I'm starting with, I'm looking at the image that I'm looking at that has a dark roof there. So I'm getting in with some dark there, and then I'm blending that up again with some of the oil because I wanted a smooth texture on there. And then I'm going over the barn with mixing some red and mixing some orange. So I'm blending those two colors together and then getting in some of the dark spots here. And then you'll notice I'll start to add in some white highlights. So you want to make sure that you're looking at the photograph that you're using, and you're going to look where those dark spots are, and you're going to look where those light spots are, and you're going to try to recreate those darks and lights. And you also want to recreate that texture. So finding ways to be adding texture as well as color mixing and darks and lights are going to be the way that you're going to have success with a landscape artwork. So some tips for success on finishing up a well-done landscape artwork with oil pastels. You want to take into account all of the techniques that we practiced. So you want to think about that color mixing. You want to be blending with black. You want to be blending with white. You want to be mixing colors that blend together. You want to be layering. You want to be working from the background forwards, and you want to be working over top of some pastels that you've already done in the background. You want to be thinking about texture, and you want to be thinking about where you're going to put all those darks and lights and highlights in your artwork.